Hello everybody, welcome to part 2 of this 3-part series on how to write convincing and pertinent opinion texts. Capsule 2 will talk about the body of the text. So before we go any further, let's have a quick review from video 1, where we talked about the introduction. So you'll remember that it has a hook to grab the reader's attention and a position statement that gives the tone to the rest of the opinion text. From this position statement, you now have to have two arguments, and this is what we will be talking about in Capsule 2. To do the exercises, I want you to take your notebook and get a fresh page and separate it in 3 sections, because you will have 3 tasks to do to start off with. Under each task, write numbers from 1 to 5 and skip a line. And on the bottom of this page, or on the next page, write task 2, characteristics of a great paragraph, and figure on about 10 to 15 lines to do this part of the exercise. So to talk about arguments, you'll do 3 series of exercises, and we will be using the same examples we had in Capsule 1. So you'll remember these examples, you've worked with them. So what we have to think about when we're doing our arguments is that what we say has to be supported by facts, statistics, examples, or, well, that's it. Okay, so this is what we'll be doing. You have, in this exercise, 5 arguments that go with the theme of unhealthy food at the cafeteria. So if you'll remember, this writer was very strong about the fact that we were dying because of this cafeteria food, and that something had to be done because a whole generation would be wiped out by food that is not good for you. So here in these arguments, the first one I'll do with you. So my friend Thomas eats there every day and never gets sick. So for the sake of argument, I will say that Thomas has been going there for 4 years. He's eating there every day. So it's a good example. It's not supported scientifically, but I mean, he's never been sick and he's been eating there a lot. For the other 4 examples, you read them. You'll press pause as usual, write the letter that corresponds to your answer, and we'll check in a few seconds. Here are my answers. Number 2 is not pertinent to the question we're discussing. Number 3 is a fact, because if you look at the food, you can verify it. Number 4, the argument is good, but it's not relevant to health. It's relevant more to money. And finally, here I had trouble. I was debating because the person eats there every Friday. That's only when he has trouble digesting. I assume that the menu is not always the same, so there may be other reasons. So maybe I'll put it in this order, depending on the context. So maybe it could be, an example, or maybe not. So that's an iffy one. You'll recognize our second example about this writer who thinks that school is so horrible that students should get a financial reward and get paid to go to school. So here are your 5 arguments, and we'll see what I wrote after. So my answers here, for number 1, it's a fact, and I assume that there is a study to back this up. Maybe it has been done in the school, at the school board, so you have numbers. So usually you have something to back it up. Number 2, the cousin that doesn't need to be paid to come to school would be a good example, but it's not pertinent to the fact that they should be paid. And the one that is number 5. So the guy, the boy or the girl, his mother gives him money every time he gets a good grade. So that's a good example. to support the argument. School will always be difficult is non-pertinent, and research show that being paid motivates kids to get better grades, so that could be verified. And here is the last practice for this part of the capsule. So it's about driver's license, so that teens should not be allowed to drive cars before they turn 18. Here are your arguments. So here I have a couple of things. People over 25 years of age usually drive safely. Fact, verifiable. The grandfather who's a great driver and the friend that says that you drive well at night, I sort of put in the in-between. It could be an example, but you could get a better example, you know. So that I would be iffy if I were correcting. Number 3 is a fact that's verifiable, and so is number 5. So this concludes the first part of this capsule, which is longer than the other one because the body is longer. So we talked about pertinent arguments. We will now get into supporting arguments. So if you want to take a break, this would be a good moment. Or if you want to continue, we have another session to go. Remember, I asked you to keep 10 to 15 lines on the bottom of the first exercises in your notebook. So here in this space, I want you to write some keywords to brainstorm on what would make, in your opinion, a convincing paragraph. Then I'll pop the tab and show you what they are, and I want you to copy them in your notebook. So you can now compare your answers and copy this. So my argument is pertinent to my topic sentence, the question, the issue, and the audience. So this is really essential, and it should be verified first when you make your plan. This is what your plan is used for, to make sure everything is coherent. And even so, some things can, get past you, and you modify on your draft. So that's why all the writing steps are important. So always check your topic sentence, so that is your argument. The question and the issues, everything has to hold together. And your argument has to contain a fact, a statistic, an example, or a personal experience. And again, as you've seen in my correction key before, sometimes for the personal experience, I'm a little strict. So make sure that it holds well together. So now this is the second part of the exercises you'll be doing. I will be giving you a topic sentence. We haven't discussed this before, but the topic sentence is sort of I would call it the head of each paragraph. It sort of it summarizes your argument. And after that, you can state clearly your argument. So you will have 3 topic sentences for which you will have to find the argument, fact, statistic to support the argument and the topic sentence, an example, and personal experience. Even though you don't have to put, example and personal experience in your text, I want you to do the exercise to get your head around this. So this is the first one. I'll walk you through this. Then I'll show you the next steps. So for we're talking again on the theme of driving teen drivers. Curfews are a great idea for teenagers and especially parents. Curfew is when your parents tell you you have to be home at a certain hour. So what it's saying that if we were to tell teens you have to be home by 9 o'clock, there would be fewer accidents. So this is what you have to demonstrate here, argue for. So the argument that the writer put here is, first of all, curfews will reduce the number of night road accidents. And he supports this by saying that studies show that most teen accidents happen at night. The example he gave in Alabama, they tried this and there was a significant change. And the writer added a personal experience that all the people that he knows, teens, I would assume, who have had accidents have had them at night. So here we go. So that was an example of what I want you to do in the following exercise. So here what I want you to do is to copy the three topic statements, and you can make room here for your arguments, facts, examples, and personal experience. And then I'll show you what I came up with. Now it's written here. The objective here is to get you to organize your ideas and understand how it works so you can make up your statistics and your facts, but only for this exercise, not for your text or anything else. So now it's time to have fun. So the first topic statement is school should be held all year. So I want you to copy this and these elements. Press pause and do it if you want, and then I'll show you the other two. The second one is the voting age should be lowered to 16 years of age. And the third one, it is difficult to eat healthy all the time. Now when you finish these three, if you're in class, I want you to share your answers with somebody else and see what they came up with. And I'll pick up your notebooks once all this is finished, and we'll share a few together, because I'm sure we'll have fun with this. And here's what I came up with. I invented all these statistics. So I will not be reading them on the clip because it'll be long, so you can read them on your own. So here's what I came up with for number 1, number 2, and number 3. And if I'm not coherent, please tell me. Certain students will surely show me so we can debate these. So here we have seen the body, pertinent arguments, supporting. We just finished this. And now we're going to get into the writing part. So you have to go back and see which topic you chose for your introduction, and I want you to use the same topic to write your body. So here are the topics. And yes, I want you to make a plan. You are obliged to do this. So I want you to copy. Task 4, writing my body. Paragraph 1, blah, blah, blah. Paragraph 2. So obviously, you'll put more lines here, so make it nice and airy in your notebook, because I will be checking your plan. And here, make sure your arguments and your facts, everything holds together. I have not asked you to write a topic sentence. We will get into this later, okay? I just want you to know that it exists. And now, through the magic of technology, just like a cooking show, I imagine that you have been writing, you finished writing your text, and now you're at this next phase of the capsule. Again, if you're listening through, I would pause and write the text and then do this next part afterwards, because you have to work on your plan and your draft. So we will be talking about linking your paragraphs together to make it easier to read. So here are the transition words in paragraphs, and I want you to underline transition words. So here it's first of all. So that's not very clear, so let's do it that way. First of all, whales are an endangered species. Then, additionally, so this is to add some information. Therefore, is to prove your point. And so thus here. So these are all transition words. And here you have a grid, a chart with all the uses you can have. So when you want to add an idea, you can use moreover, furthermore, also, to show cause and effect, consequently, as a result, therefore, and for listing different points in order, first, second, and third. So I want you to copy these elements in the whole table in your notebook. Here are other linking words. So when you want to summarize something at the end of a paragraph or in your conclusion, in short, finally, in conclusion, to show an example, such as, for instance, for example, to show contrast between two different things, however, on the contrary, but. Again, I want you to copy this table. And now it's time to correct your draft and add some of these linking words, transition words, are appropriate. And finally, we've seen all of these elements. So we're just finishing with transitions before we talk about facts, examples, first pertinent arguments, and all of these steps relate to creating a great body for your paragraph, making a convincing body of your opinion text. So in conclusion, the introduction, you have the main idea, the topic sentence, and you begin with an attention getting a sentence. So this is the hook, the position statement, and then you have, they're not in order, one argument. After this, to support your topic sentence, one argument per paragraph. You provide details and arguments for each paragraph and discourse markers to make a smooth transition and very good reading. So I hope you enjoyed this second capsule, which was the longest. So don't worry, the next one won't be that hard, well, that long. And I'll be talking to you soon. So thank you for listening.